In North Carolina, we still build and grow stuff. We're evolving, but stay true to our roots. To get unique perspective on this election, you have to listen. WRAL's 5-town tour down Main Street, North Carolina. Tomorrow on WRAL News.
All this week, WRAL is traveling the state, talking with people about the election, issues weighing heavily on their minds. High gas prices are high on the list, which has refueled the debate over offshore drilling in the Atlantic Ocean. Tonight, Brian Mims and photojournalist Richard Adkins are in Currituck County to see how water and oil mix with the locals.
This is not Main Street, Currituck County, but it might as well be. The beach. It's what lures people here to relax. But out there could be another lure for heavy-duty work. It's a work day at the Winks of Corolla convenience store. I find Chip Workman working. If not for the tourism buck ringing his store register, Winks of Corolla would blink out.
It's everything. And they need to stay clean and protect it, and you know, that's our livelihood.
Which is why he finds the prospect of drilling for oil out there as just too out there.
I can see where it would provide jobs, you know, which is much needed, but still the environmental impact is, in my opinion, greater than the benefit of it.
Both candidates for president are pursuing policies that could lead to oil and gas exploration off the North Carolina coast. Randy Horst, a construction worker on his lunch break, gives me this drill.
Why? It's there. If we don't use it, we're going to be paying up to here for something that's right there. The place needs another source of income because the tourist trade, it's making us money, but with the economy down, it ain't making like it used to make.
The flowing of oil and gas would be at least a decade off.
It'll be way down the road for impact.
But Stephen Garrett, owner of the Corolla Cantina, says, let's explore.
You know, the geologists will get out there from the oil companies, and they'll be able to find out what really is out there.
And if it's out there,
it'll be something they can tap into in the future.
Some of his neighbors say if there's an accident, a spill, it would be like a rainy day at the beach every day.
It could happen. It could definitely happen.
Greta Geis leads Jeep rides for Corolla Outback Wild Horse Tours. If drilling is on the horizon, she doesn't like the view.
I would assume that we would see large towers of metal out there with a lot more ships than what we're seeing now.
But she doesn't like the view on the sit-go price sign either.
We have to look at all the aspects of it. I mean, you can't just look at it as, okay, well, that's going to eliminate foreign fuel and us buying foreign fuel. You have to look at it as it's also going to interfere with other people's livelihood.
Currituck County is prized for its wide, windswept beaches. Chip Workman thinks maybe there's another energy windfall in windmills.
I think wind is just, it's free, it's plenty of it. Let's use it.
It's green.
It's green.
Green energy.
Feeling the wind and watching the waves invite contemplation about what might yet come to these shores. Brian Mims, WRAL News, Currituck County.
Our third Main Street stop takes us to the coast tomorrow. Brian and Richard head to Jacksonville and Onslow County, home to Camp Lejeune. They'll hear what's front and center this election year in our state's military community.
North Carolina has the third largest military population in the country. We are home to Fort Bragg, Camp Lejeune, and Seymour Johnson Air Force Base.
In our battleground state, winning the hearts and minds of veterans is key for the candidates. In their journey across our state this week, Brian Mims and photojournalist Richard Adkins take us to Jacksonville, where they hear what's front and center among the rank and file.
Jacksonville has a downtown, of course, but like many cities, the main corridors of commerce are on the multi-lane outskirts. Pick a strip mall in this military town, and that's where you'll find the buzz.
That'd be 10.
We'll take you to headquarters.
Next.
Headquarters barbershop. The hair on every head is high and tight, the faces expressionless. These are not talking heads eager to spout opinions before an audience. They don't speak unless spoken to. James TYREE is one of the barbers. He's a retired Marine. He hands me a business card. Serving the world one person at a time.
Well, we serve the military, and they go all over the world.
Just down crowded Highway 24 is Camp Lejeune, the Marine Corps base. It's been a long 11 years of war. This community lives it.
Every day. Every day.
The going, the coming.
So how many times have you been deployed?
Quite a few, about 3 or 4 times.
Sergeant Daniel Potts Jr. is the dad of Daniel Potts III, a year old and here for his first haircut. He has another child on the way. Are you relieved that the war is drawing down in Afghanistan?
I'm kind of indifferent about it.
How so? Why indifference?
Like I said, I joined to do what I'm doing and support and defend my country, so I'm doing that.
He's fought for his country. He just wants people to care about his country, enough to cast a ballot.
A lot of people that don't register to vote, a lot of people that just, don't get out there and do it. And it's important.
On his own political preferences, he prefers to keep quiet. There's a tattoo on the arm of Lance Corporal Tyler Burns. Brothers will be there for all adversity. I ask him about war and the politicians who send him there. He thinks Mitt Romney is more likely than President Obama to send him to more war in the Middle East.
Most Marines want to deploy, so it's like, if we go somewhere else, that's what we want to do, a lot of us, but we don't want to be in Afghanistan because a lot of us feel that war's been over for years. It's an endless win, you can't win it.
Both candidates have called for troops to be out by the end of 2014.
Just as long as they don't forget about us.
Gunnery Sergeant Brian Gooch hopes it's the right target.
I don't think we need to come back unless it's right. Unless everything's done that needs to be done.
Just complete the mission.
Exactly.
But completing the mission can sometimes lead to unfinished business at home.
Watch out for the concerns of the veterans.
David McCarter is a veteran of the Army.
They're coming back, Andrew, coming back with a lot of problems from the war.
Don't forget about them, he says. It's like that barber's business card, if slightly amended. Serving those who serve. One buzz cut at a time. Brian Mims, WRAL News, Onslow County.
And tomorrow night, Brian and Richard head west to Piedmont. They'll take us to Lincolnton, where one of North Carolina's traditional industries, furniture making, is enjoying a renaissance. We've heard a lot this election year about how North Carolina is a battleground state, but it doesn't stop there. Within our borders, there are key battleground counties. After years of voting for Republicans, Watauga County went a different way in the last presidential race. In their final stop this week, Brian Mims and photojournalist Richard Adkins show us the community's true colors.
October in western North Carolina. 5 words that make my heart leap. I love to see the flaming colors in the trees. And when you look at an election map, Watauga County is the color purple. That's how it all stacks up when you mix political colors together like concrete. Start with Republican red bricklayer and mountain native Wendell Williams.
I like Romney. I'm going to personally vote for Romney.
Then lay it on heavy with the likes of Bill Parrish, a Florida native who's in a blue state of mind.
It does seem to me that Obama might be a little bit better for small business.
The result, Watauga is a dyed-in-the-wool swing county. Unlike its neighboring mountain counties, Watauga swayed to Obama in 2008. Here in Boone, there's a certain vibe on the streets, youthful, trendy. The city is home to Appalachian State University, and well-heeled transplants, mesmerized by mountains, have made a large footprint. I step into a coffee bar called Espresso News and chat with Gil Hawks, a psychology major. You gonna vote next month?
Yeah, probably.
The youth vote was a shot of espresso to Obama's campaign 4 years ago. Is that still true today, do you think?
I guess. It's just like the debt has gone up so much that it's just, it is my future.
I feel like it's so weird.
Upstairs, I find Madeline Privette, a 19-year-old nursing student from Raleigh, drinking a no-fuss cup of coffee. You've been following politics?
Sort of.
She was all perked up 4 years ago when Obama was elected.
I think my most excitement was, he was a minority, and it was just something really different, and this big change mantra he had.
But now she thinks it's time for another change. The president, she says, fell short of the hopes. Even among the espresso bars and laptops, there are some in Boone who are unabashedly old-fashioned. So you've never owned a cell phone?
Never had a cell phone in my life.
Never had a pager?
No. No computer. I don't have a website and everything, and yet I still have a very successful business.
Bill Parrish calls his store highway robbery.
I think Obama is going to be better for me because I'm 65 now, and he's less down on doing things away with Social Security and stuff.
Even in all the color here, political and otherwise, there are shades of gray.
You have a large Democratic Party and a large Republican Party here.
Carl Smith sells the black and gold of Appalachian State.
It's got to the point where I could care less Republican or Democrat. I just want somebody to come in there, tell us what they're going to do and do it. Not tell us what they're going to do just so they can get elected.
A small business owner, he's no fan of what he sees as federal largesse.
I think there's too much government. I think that's where our problem is. I think government is, federal government especially, is taking so much out of state-controlled budgets.
From the college scene to the bricklayer, people here are cementing the diversity of this political panorama. Brian Mims, WRAL News, Watauga County.